The courtroom was silent, heavy with the tension that comes when family and betrayal collide. Officer Jarvis Duncan, a man who had served his community for nearly 2 decades, now stood not as a protector of justice, but as a father figure heartbroken by the actions of someone he once called his own. Across from him sat Jessica Thomas, his stepdaughter of 19 years, her eyes downcast, her hands nervously clutching the sides of the defendant's table. Between them stood not just a legal battle, but years of shared memories, birthdays, family dinners, holidays, laughter, and now the unmistakable weight of disappointment and loss. Judge Judy Sheindlin peered over her glasses with that piercing look known to millions of viewers. "This is a sad case," she began, her tone cutting yet calm. "Because what we have here isn't just about stolen property, it's about broken trust." The air was thick with emotion as the courtroom listened to the story unfold. Officer Duncan, still in uniform, explained that it all began months earlier, when small items started disappearing from his home. A bracelet, a watch, an iPad. At first, he and his wife thought they had simply misplaced them. But as time passed, more things went missing, and suspicion crept in like a shadow no one wanted to face. Jessica wasn't living with them at the time, but she was still a regular presence. She came over for family dinners, birthdays, and to visit her younger siblings, 9-year-old twins who adored her. She was part of the family, even if her life had taken some difficult turns. Unemployed for over a year and raising her own children alone, Jessica had fallen on hard times. Her stepfather had helped her before, paying bills, covering rent, offering financial support when things got rough. But this time, something felt different. This time, things were going missing. The breaking point came when Officer Duncan, who had spent 18 years reading people, trusting evidence, and following trails of truth, decided to look deeper. He accessed local pawnshop records, something he was well within his rights to do as a police officer, and there they were, the receipts. His wife's Belova watch, his own gold bracelet and necklace, the family's camcorder, all listed under Jessica's name, stamped with her signature and fingerprint. When Judge Judy held up the pawn ticket in court, the tension was unbearable. "This has your name on it," she said firmly, "and your fingerprint." Jessica looked up, her voice trembling. "I don't know what he's talking about," she said. "I've pawned things before, but they were mine, or for friends." But the judge wasn't convinced. "There are no coincidences in life," Judy replied. "If your friends had items to pawn, why couldn't they do it themselves? Why did they need you?" There was no good answer to that. Jessica stumbled through half-hearted excuses about her friends lacking identification, but her words felt empty against the solid weight of evidence. It wasn't just about objects anymore, it was about betrayal. Officer Duncan's wife, the woman sitting quietly beside him, looked at her daughter with tears welling up in her eyes. She wanted to believe her, but deep down, she knew. Mothers always know. Judge Judy turned her gaze back to Jessica. "Did you need money?" she asked, her tone softening slightly. Jessica nodded. "Yes, I've needed money before. I'm a single mum. Things get hard. My parents have helped me before." "Did you ask them this time?" Judy pressed. Jessica hesitated. I'm sure I have. I usually do." The judge leaned forward. "And when they didn't give you money, did you help yourself?" The courtroom went silent again. Jessica swallowed hard. "No," she whispered, though even she didn't sound convinced by her own denial. Her stepfather spoke then, voice steady but full of pain. "After I noticed money missing from my checking account, I called her," he said. "I asked her what she was doing, why she took it. She said, 'I'm sorry, I'll pay you back.' Later we found more missing items, and I checked the pawn records. There they were, our things." Judge Judy asked if he confronted her again. "Yes," he said. "We both did. We asked her why she was stealing from us after everything we've done to help her. She said she didn't know why she did it. She said she was sorry. When asked if that was true, Jessica's voice broke. "Yes," she said softly. "I told them I was sorry. I don't know why I did it. I made a mistake." The room felt the ache in her voice, a mix of guilt, shame, and regret. She tried to shift the focus. "We agreed to handle it within the family," she continued, tears now forming. "He said he wouldn't press charges. But then he did. I spent 10 days in jail. I was away from my kids. It broke our family apart." Her mother wiped her eyes. Officer Duncan looked straight ahead, his expression unreadable. Judge Judy's tone remained firm, but not cruel. "You do understand," she said slowly, "that it was your actions that caused this. That your stepfather didn't put you in jail, you did that to yourself?" Jessica nodded. "I understand," she whispered. "I really do." The judge sighed. "I believe you're sorry. But being sorry doesn't erase what happened. This family gave you love, support, a home, and you repaid them with theft. You've not only broken the law, but you've broken their trust." Her gavel came down. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,300. And just like that, it was over. But for the family, it was far from finished. The money would be repaid, but the emotional debt, the one born from betrayal, would take years to heal if it ever did. Officer Duncan and his wife left the courtroom quietly, their faces showing not triumph, but sadness. They didn't want justice. They wanted peace. They wanted their daughter back. Jessica stood in the hallway outside the courtroom, tears streaming down her face. She thought of her children, of the choices she made, of the trust she had shattered. She had stolen not just jewelry, not just money, but the sense of belonging that tied her to her family. No matter how many times she said she was sorry, she knew that forgiveness would come slowly, if at all. Back at home, the family photos on the wall told a story of happier times, holidays filled with smiles, birthdays filled with laughter. Those moments were real once, and perhaps one day they could be again. But as of that moment, they were just memories of what used to be, reminders of a bond broken by desperation and deceit. In the end, it wasn't the gold necklace or the watch that hurt the most. It was the realization that trust, once lost, is the hardest thing to recover. And so this story wasn't just about a police officer and a theft. It was about the fragile line between love and disappointment, between family and betrayal. It was about how even in the most loving homes, darkness can creep in when pain and need outweigh honesty. Officer Duncan upheld the law, even when it tore his family apart. And Jessica Thomas, a mother and daughter, learned the hardest lesson of all, that the truth, no matter how painful, always finds its way to the surface, and that sometimes the people you hurt most are the ones who loved you the most.